Hello, welcome back to the Crafty Organizer. I'm Noreen Burke and I have a secret that I want to share with you. I love my small kitchen. I live in a 1940s bungalow. I have a small area that is just shoved in the corner for my kitchen, but I actually love it. And today I want to share some small storage ideas that you can use in your own kitchen. Let's go. So the footprint of my kitchen is actually a pretty good size, but for whatever reason, when it was designed, I don't know if during a remodel more space was added, but it has every cabinet and every large appliance shoved into this corner. So I have the refrigerator, there is no dishwasher, the stove, you can see I have one large base cabinet, I have these drawers, and then there's the two upper cabinets. Now, I'm not going to go through everything that's inside of all of these. I did a video not too long ago on completely purging everything that was in my kitchen. So if you're interested in seeing all of the things, go ahead and click in the description below and I'll have a link to that video. And I'm going to give a different kitchen as an example, so hopefully some of these tips can be used in your own space. Now let's start with the most obvious thing, which I know you're going to hate hearing, but that is purging. Going through what you have in your kitchen and really being honest about what you need. Need is a big thing in this video. So often I go into homes with people who have a good sized kitchen and pretty decent storage, but they don't have space for what they have. And as we start going through the things with the tips that I'm going to give you in here, they realize that they have a lot of duplicates of items or things stored in their kitchen that they have not used in a long time or sometimes have never used. So being honest when you're looking at your supplies and really only keeping the things that you use regularly, whether it be food supplies or those items that you like to cook with, but you don't need to have a blender, a Food Ninja, and a food processor. One shop with one of those items should be able to handle all of your cooking needs. This is also a great time to look through. Really decide if you need that extra set of china, those special glasses, that decorative holiday dishware. If these are things that have been stored just in case, maybe right now is a great time to get rid of it, because deciding that a more spacious kitchen that flows more easily is way better than having those dishes just in case. So really look, pare down where you can, and when it comes to food, make sure you're staying on top of those expiration dates. If it's getting near a date that isn't good anymore, donate it while you still can to a food bank and get that space freed up in your kitchen. The next thing I want to talk about is zones. This is usually the biggest game changer when I'm working with clients in their kitchen. So often we get used to things being in a set place because that's where it's always been. But by really being mindful about what's in your kitchen and where it's placed in proximity to what you're using, you will find the flow of your kitchen completely changes. Take a look at this example kitchen. This looks like it's actually a nice sized kitchen. It's got a lot of decent counter space, some good upper and lower cabinets, but when I'm looking at a kitchen like this, and I've actually started going with clients as they're looking at homes to buy, this is what I see in this kitchen. There are only 3 usable drawers. You can't use this upper cabinet above the refrigerator or the one under the sink. And let's face it, this little one next to the stove is really only big enough for a couple of cookie trays or a couple of platters, which means that the only usable storage in this kitchen are those 2 corner cabinets, and you lose all of the space in the actual back corner unless they have it open. And then you have a situation of how do you get to those back spaces without pulling everything out. And then you only have these few upper cabinets that are actual usable space. So if you're looking at a space that you haven't bought yet, or you're designing a kitchen, make sure what they're showing you will actually be functional space. I'm always so sad when I do a new move-in and I walk into the kitchen and I see so much storage space that looks pretty, but it's completely useless. So in a space like this, here's what I would do. I would focus on the dishwasher area first, because when you're unloading your dishes, you want all of the things that are going home to be close by. So I would have the glasses right above the dishwasher and the plates and bowls as close as I could, which would probably be that first cabinet on the left. Now let's think about the stove. This is where you should have all of your prep items, your spices, your seasonings. Anything used for prep should be in this back corner so that you can easily create and cook. But what that really means is the space that's left over is where your remaining items will need to go. So again, I would place the cups and glasses right above that dishwasher, which means the plates and bowls and maybe some decorative items that you use in your kitchen, large serving platters or whatnot, would go in this upper left cabinet. Then next to that is where I would have my pantry items, with above the stove being probably not used very much because you always have to consider that there's probably a vent in there. So you might be able to put a couple of vinegars. Oils shouldn't go up there because of the heat rising, but if you use them frequently enough, you might be able to get away with storing those in there. I usually use this space for cookbooks so that you can reach them easily. They're not usually affected too much by heat, but that means, once again, limited space. So on the left of that area next to the refrigerator is where I would have spices. Now in a cabinet like that, do your best to find some containers. These will allow you to put them on the shelf and pull it out easily so you have access to everything. Go ahead and break these down then by baking, by savories, by oils and vinegars, so that you have complete utilization of all of that storage space. Lastly, on these lower cabinets is where I would have small appliances, larger serving bowls, mixing bowls, and any overflow for those small food storage containers that we all have for leftovers. The drawers I would focus on for obviously silverware, cooking utensils, and any type of food storage bags that you use for when you're prepping your lunches. Whenever you can, make sure that you are decanting your food items. Whether you've got a box of individual food items that you can put into a bin or box, or if you've got large bulk items like pastas, rice, grains, beans, put those in a different container. This allows you to see all of your items. Now, if you're using a lot of small grains, beans, things like that, once again, get a bin, and this way when you need those items, you can immediately see that you already have a bag of that tricolor pasta before buying or opening up the next one. This will honestly save you not only your food budget, but it makes it so that you don't lose those food items in the back of a cabinet. A trick I use when I'm decanting my food items is I got these containers from Walmart. Now, I found over time the seal was starting to fail, which was disappointing because the price point was great for these. The OXO brand is amazing, but for the size that I want, we're looking at $100 for me to get all of the large containers so that I can put my rice, my pasta, or cereal inside of them. A trick that I learned is the press and seal wrap that you can get. I'm just putting along the seal on the inside and I have had no more air leak issues. I've started using this on a lot of my Dollar Tree containers and it keeps the food seal perfect. So go ahead and invest in a roll of the press and seal if you haven't already. I find that this is a great way to seal off your food, especially if you're cooking ahead and putting things in the freezer. It keeps all of the air out and all of the freshness in. Another trick I really love, anytime you have a kitchen that is lacking in storage, add a bookcase. You can get bookcases used and at secondhand shops all of the time, but they're not that expensive to go ahead and buy new. I did this in my own kitchen and it was the perfect spot for those food containers. I got lucky when I got this bookcase that they just happened to fit perfectly inside of this. I did cut the back out of mine so that I could fit my microwave on the shelf. I also added some larger bins so that I could have my Food Ninja in one, all of my coffee pods, my dog supplies are in another. The bottom shelf is the perfect place for my larger appliances that will not fit in any of my cabinets. I have my large deep fryer, my pressure cooker, and my toaster oven. This is a great way for me to easily get them, but it looks nice and tidy. Since my bookshelf was low, it gave me the perfect spot to create a little coffee bar. With some wood that I got from my local Lowe's and some inexpensive brackets from the Dollar Tree, I was able to create this great spot. Now I could use this for storage if I had extra bowls, plates, cups, but I like using it for my home decor, and it gives me a beautiful spot to enjoy and update constantly in my kitchen. By doing this, it frees up so much more space so that my kitchen counters can be completely open for prep. I just add 1 or 2 little decor items and my paper towel holder, and my kitchen looks completely decluttered. Now, my kitchen is a smaller size, but again, only because it's shoved into that corner. The actual space is really big, so I know a lot of you are going to say, I have a smaller kitchen than that, and I totally feel you. I want to make sure that I'm giving as many suggestions as I can to fit all of those things in. But honestly, one of the biggest tips I have, if you're working in a small space, is really being mindful about what's in there, only keeping the essentials. Adding a bookcase will totally blow your mind at how much more storage you can get from that. And once again, if you're not using those items, store them in another space so that hopefully it frees up as much space as possible in your kitchen. I hope you liked today's video and that some of these tips helped. If you did, please leave this video a like. If you haven't subscribed already, I'm working hard to hit that 100,000, and I'm getting so close. At 95,000, I'm going to start the countdown that you can enjoy with me. So please make sure to hit subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in just a few days. Bye.